Welcome to the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Good evening, everybody. Unfortunately, tonight, Katie Elizabeth was going to be on, but something came up. She can't be here tonight. We are rescheduling her. So we're going to do an open forum. No chit chat. But there's a couple things I want to say before we get going. I know, blurred my screen. But one of the things I want to say right now is I want to thank everybody, from the vendors to the speakers to everyone that came to the Penn Ohio Paranormal Conference. It was very humbling, the support it got. I know I promoted the hell out of it. I really did. And so it would be a success. The thing is, it humbled me big time. It really affected me that you all supported, from close to far away. It was amazing. I really didn't get to speak much to a lot of people, but because I was pulled every which way. But no, seriously, thank you all so much. Deeply, deeply appreciated. Now, let me go on with the second thing, because this is going to be open forum. Ask whatever you want. We'll talk about whatever you want. But right now, I met this lady this afternoon, and I had my other hoodie on that had the UFO with the light beam going down on top of a Sasquatch. And after me and the guys got done talking, and I'm getting ready to leave, she points at my shirt and says, "I believe in both." And so, the thing is, that's always a conversation starter. And I looked at her and said, "That's great." I says, "Saturday, you just missed a big event there. We had a paranormal conference where we talked about Bigfoot, Dogman, the Shenango Valley Dog Boy." "Oh, I heard of that. Ghosts, UFOs, aliens." And she went, "Wow." I said, "Yeah, we have tons and tons of people." Well, she proceeds to tell me that her son saw a Bigfoot up near Kinzo. Then she goes on about she was the nurse at the one hospital she was working at. Her name's Nancy. She's from Conneaut. They come down to go to Craniacs and to Daffins. Her and her friend. They both older ladies. And the hospital she was working at, her son was very ill, and he was there. She was working. She walks in the room. She gets on the phone, calls her husband, and she goes, "Get here. Gary's not going to last long." As a nurse, she knew that. And I'm thinking, oh my. So her husband gets up there. He's sitting there with him, and she's holding her son's hand. Now, he hasn't been able to sit up or anything. So all of a sudden, he sits up, puts his arms up like this here, and he goes, "They're here for me." Her mom, Nancy, goes, "What do you mean they're here for you? Who?" He goes, "The angels." This is back in 82, 83. Next thing she knows, he's softly laid back, totally laid out on his bed now. and he goes. He's gone. That put tears in my eyes. And she goes, the angels took him. She says, I know he's in heaven. I'm like, wow. Very heartfelt. And she says, and nobody could say I'm making this up because my husband was right there and he stuck up for me with it. Well, a few years ago, husband's in the hospital. He's dying. And she was in there in the room with them. And he goes, Gary's here, their son. She goes, where? He says, right there with two guys. And she's looking around like there's no one actually there, but he's seeing him. And I guess Gary was trying to get his dad to come, and the one guy put his hand on Gary's shoulder, says he's not ready yet, not yet. So I guess Gary took his finger, pointed it, and put it right on his dad's chest and said, I will be back for you. Well, the next day, she brought her husband home from hospice. Now, which is kind of crazy because he's seen her, he's seen his son, he's seen the angel. He's in she says the game room, which is right off the kitchen. He had the hospital bed set up there. Her sister was there standing in the doorway. Her husband goes, who is that man standing at the bottom of the bed? And her sister goes, I don't know, but I'll ask him. He goes out, never regained consciousness. So all they can think of was another angel that was there to take him. That touched me. That really touched me. You know, she had tears in her eyes saying this. God bless her. You know, believe in the higher power. I do. You know, so the angels came and took them. I believe it. I do. I do believe that. We can't see them per se. It's just crazy. And that is true, Angel. It still got me right here in the heart. It really does. No, but just think. I hope I don't know who's saying this because it's coming up as face. Wait a minute, let me do this. Maybe it'll show me. Johnny, yes. I've heard it before too, but not countless. But you know, there's something else past this life we have. And Angel can verify that. Johnny, you can verify this. Do we know what to look for? No. No, we don't. And I'll be glad to know, but I don't want to go yet, but I'll be glad to know. Because I got many things I still got to find out here on Earth. As you all know. I'm on a quest. And my quest is always learning. The thing is, we need to figure this out. You know, from the Bigfoot to any of the cryptids, the paranormals go, with the ghosts and all, the aliens, UFOs. We need to figure this out. And Gary, you're right. You're right. Today, my heart goes out to the Britton Mays and Haynes family up in the Greenville area. Gary Gerhardt knows these people. They lost a mother and 11-year-old twins in a house fire this morning. What a sad situation. Very sad. That's the thing. We don't know how long we're going to be here. I'd say I still got 25 years left because I haven't pissed off enough people. We don't know that. I want to be around at least 25 more years. Because I got a lot to learn yet. I know it breaks your heart, Gary. You knew the family, and my prayers are out for them. And it breaks my heart when I was reading it this morning. Then I read the names, and I know some of the names. But anyhow, let's go on a different subject before I start crying on this one. What do you guys want to talk about? I'm down to anything right now. So just let me know which you'd like to talk about. I want to talk about plant vibrations. Jamie King's watching. So he can jump in here and tell us. Since I got to miss it when I was sitting there and I had to get up and leave because I got called somewhere. And I missed the demonstration. And the plants were talking, and I missed it. Oh my God, Angel's going to get naked and go in the hot tub. Scary, scary, scary. I'm sorry, I had to say it. So, who wants to talk about stuff? What do you want to talk about? Since I kind of got derailed on the thing. You want to talk about Bigfoot? You want to talk about ghosts? You want to talk about UFOs? Let's talk about alien abductions. Angel's already in the hot tub. Cover your eyes, people. Now, I'm going to talk about a little bit about my experience and how it affected me. You guys heard part of it. And so I'm just going to give a little bit of it because I'm going more in depth when I go to these events and talk. It affected me mentally really bad. I say because I always thought I was superhuman. That's part of it. That's a bigger part of it. The other part is my humanity. Now, fortunately, it wasn't aggressive, or I wouldn't be here talking about this. Angel, don't worry, the aliens ain't abducting you tonight. know why you're in that hot tub there or not. Or maybe it'd be easier for probing. But anyhow, but um, spiritually, I say no to that, Gary. Um, Now, I don't even know why I got this on. I don't need the headphones on. I'm the only one talking. I hear myself in it. Jeez. Um, you know, I started asking God why this happened to me. And I wasn't getting any real answers that I knew of at the time. Um, it took me a few months to realize I was getting answers, and they were coming through other people. They kept telling me to talk about it. And that's what I've been doing. It has helped me because that PTSD is a real thing. It really got to me. Doing this podcast, it helps. Um, Praying helps. And the thing is, you all know I don't really push religion. I believe in God and Jesus. I do pray. You know, whatever higher power you look up to, if it helps you, it helps you. And if it wasn't for the people I met out in the cryptid and paranormal world, I don't think I would have got through that. I really don't. And I believe he led me on this path that where I'm at with this. And I keep saying it's a rabbit hole because it is. It's a deep rabbit hole. But I enjoy it. Mr. Brian Little, would you like to come online with us? We need to discuss your new book. If you'd like to, just. Hi, Jamie. The thing is that I still struggle some days. And I won't deny it. Hi, Josh. Meant to call you earlier, but kind of got sidetracked when I did. Rob, you might be right. You might be right. You know, of all people and religion, one of my oldest friends, he never thought it'd be with him. I really didn't. And I'm proud of him. Higher vibration, see more than others. I believe so, Angel. I really do. I don't know. Do they? I don't know. I hope. But I don't know if you have a higher vibration, but I think you're more attuned to what you do out there with the ghost and all the. That gift is yours. Um, Josh had an experience this week. He had a sighting, and it got him. It shook him up. He even said so. And it does affect you. And so, Josh, and I'm sorry I didn't call you, but that lady took up my time today that I was talking to this afternoon. And I came home just in time to tell the wife about it and then come up here and get ready. Yes, Jamie. Things have to be in vibrational match in the quantum field. I think it was the right time, right place, and I was supposed to see the Bigfoot. Like, maybe God planned it that way. I don't know. Maybe God planned Jamie's encounter with him going through the death of his dad and that to help him get through this and set him on the path he's on too. And Rob says this: people that believe will be more responsive to the happenings than this who do not. The more receptive, the more you're attuned. That's true. Yeah, that is true. And, Jamie, he made me feel really good when he said he's so proud of the way I grew in this field. And I had to sit back and think about it. I have grown in this field. I've grown a lot. But it wasn't for people like him, Brian Siege, Mary Fabian even, Amy Boo, even our friend Tina Sams. Her energy. These people showed me so much. And how to act, how to understand what we're going through. And I'm so appreciative of them all. I really am. And there's times that you sit back and think you could be doing right. And then you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm wrong. Then you catch a video of one of them doing something. Oh, wait a minute. No, I was doing that okay. Shane, you're right. I am growing around good people. And you're one of them too, buddy. I'm 64 years old. They say you can't teach old dog new tricks, but I've been learning a hell of a lot in the last few years. I ain't gonna lie. And it's those good people that have been training me and teaching me. And I said something at the meeting, and Jamie kind of backed off about it. But the one investigation we went on, I stepped back and let him take the run at the range with it. Because he has more experience doing it, and I wanted to see exactly how he did it so I can mimic it, because he gets better reports than I do, it seems like. And now I understand why. And I'm glad I let him take the lead on it. And yes, Jamie, we're all students of life. And the other thing I like what you said is that we're the translators of the reports we take. We don't own those reports. The one that's giving us the reports are the ones that owns these. We're just putting it out there for them. It helps all of us as we correspond. Hello, Mr. Brian Seach. God bless you. There's another one right there. And right there, I've learned a lot from him too. Awesome people out here in this field. There really is. Of course, we got some of the assholes too. I'm going to admit it. We do have assholes out here. But as long as you don't surround yourself around those ones, you're going to find things out. You're going to learn. It's going to work out for you. Yeah. And that's the thing. Now, I got a circle of friends that I rely on to help me through. And I have called them and just to pick their brains about a couple little things, but it gets my brain working, and they're awesome. And I appreciate every minute of it because we're all trying to learn and trying to get more out of this. I don't know. Is it for our own sanctity? Yeah. I just like learning. Brian and Terry are an inspiration. Mike Hartman. Shane, you're so right. You are so right. He is. And I have said that. And even though we dog each other out, and everyone make sure you call or message him tomorrow and wish him happy Mike Day tomorrow, April 1st. But anyhow, but yes, we dog each other out a lot, but we help each other out a lot. Oh, Angel. Oh, Angel. Mike's not here to defend himself. But yes, right here. And like Jamie said, they are an inspiration. Brian and Terry's been doing this since the 80s. You find out more from them than most anybody. And I don't just mean Bigfoot. I mean anything. Cryptid, paranormal, the whole 9 yards. And they're so down to earth. We definitely, got a lot of knowledgeable people out here. And so if you need to learn anything, don't understand something, message me. I'll send you in the right direction to the right person. Because I met a lot of people out here, and I ain't denying it. And I met a lot, and I know to send it to, who to send it to, who not to send it to. Oh, shucks. Brian, you're such a wealth of knowledge, you and Terry. I love you guys. And Angel goes, hey, she's right. The lineup was awesome. The lineup was awesome. Brian and Terry started the show. They brought out 25 more chairs. out of the back. So that was 105 seats that were packed full. We had standing room only, people standing up everywhere around there that listened to them. We had a packed house on the vendor side at the same time. It is just nuts. Nuts. And it wasn't for these speakers and these people wanting to hear them was even crazier because they stayed. When the power went out, on Dan Hagman was up doing his, and I made him stay up longer. Sorry, Dan. I know you're out there right now, but I made him stay up there because the people were sitting there listening. And finally, Ed Kelman goes, I don't need my PowerPoint. I can go up. So I go to Mike. I said, well, we better get Dan down so Ed can get up there. And I think Dan talked for an hour and a half. Thank you, Dan. Yeah, but the people didn't leave. They sat there in the dark listening to him. We had to open up the side doors. Angel, we are doing it again next year. But the thing is, they didn't want to leave. So that tells me my speakers were the best of the bunch. And that ain't a lie. I truly believe that. And they all put off a great presentation. Each and every one of them. And I'm so thankful. My vendors, that includes Angel. They were all awesome. Yes, Angel, I said you was awesome, so don't let that go to your head. Yes, I promoted the hell out of this event. Big time. And I went networking to all these other events. So we can have a successful one. And I was nervous. I'm not going to deny I was nervous. But if it wasn't for the vendors, the speakers, and the people that came, we would not have been that great. It wasn't me. Yeah, I promoted it. It was everything. And everybody was there to learn. We definitely, I had a lot to learn that day. But everyone was coming to learn and to see what's going on. And it was really awesome to see the smiles and everything on everyone's faces. That's the thing. Everyone was happy. And here, let me show you what Rob wrote. He told me this already. I know I told you this, but for your audience, I must relate this story. One of your speakers said Saturday, keep your eyes and mind open to the supernatural. As he said that, I looked around the VFW. I saw a person that looked like a friend of mine. I was getting ready to go talk to him when I remembered. He passed about 15 years ago. And just about a mile from where we were, and it wasn't just about a mile from where we were, it was the only time I saw him, by the way. You're not the only one that said they thought they saw someone that was passed away that was there at the event. Everybody got a doppelganger. But so I've seen people that reminded me of my uncles. They're passed away. Some other friends. So, is it meant to be? Possible. You know, I was working a fair in Georgia and I had some lady running up, Timmy, why are you ignoring me? And they hit me in the back. Timmy, quit ignoring me. I turned around and says, Timmy who? She said, "Oh my God, you look like Timmy." But I know you're not. He don't talk like that. On Western Pennsylvania slang voice, I guess. But yeah, that, doppelganger. And by the way, I got a new research vehicle. There were force fair. You didn't tell me about that, Angel. Thanks a lot. We talked a lot since that day. She's been a cleaning fool. They ran scaffolding so she could clean her ceiling. Should have seen her on that scaffolding today. Was that fun? I felt sorry for her husband. He was playing catcher in case she fell. But yeah, so it's been raining all day, so I couldn't get this on the van today. Or Blazer. Or this one. Or this one. And I'm getting for the sides. Huh. And Rob says, Angel, this. So I hope that makes you feel better. She probably had to put her glasses on. I took it down too quick. But no, seriously. I'm coming home from the bank today. Hi, Barb. Good to see you out there. Hi, Tim. Tim's out there too. I got the Blazer. It's raining today. I go to the bank in it. No, I drove it down to the meeting and drove up to the bank up the other side of Hermitage. I pulled out of the bank, started down the freeway. Brake line broke. Hello, Ron. Ron Strock's out there too. Awesome. That's yeah. They made it a fun ride home, but it's raining and I don't have a garage anymore since we bought this place. So I got to wait till tomorrow. Hopefully I get it down my friend's place. Get that fixed. I was going to go down West Winfield tomorrow, but that ain't happening now. Down at the hunt camp area where I do my investigating, a bunch of people were going to be there I wanted to see. But it is what it is. Oh. You're welcome, Gary. Gary is now our new Mercer Lawrence County chapter lead. He's been doing everything for the chapter in the last couple months. And I pulled him up in front of everybody and told everyone he is now our new lead. That's after I agitated him first. Everything he's done has been a positive. And yes, I got the faith in him. And so I bestowed upon him the banner for the chapter. I'm tired of carrying it around. Now it's on him. And we got to get together and figure out May's meeting. I'm still going to work with them. But it takes a lot off my plate. Really, Rob? Yeah. Jesse is Rob's son. Has learning disabilities. And he's in the Bigfoot and the paranormal, all this stuff. And his attention span's not that great, but he learned a lot that day. But yeah, Gary's going to do great. I know he will. And if he doesn't, his wife Dee will beat his ass. I like Dee. She's a hard-working woman too. That's another good one. They're good people. I really like them both a lot. Jesse's good, Angel. Yes. Now, Jamie, your plant vibrations. We're going to have to do that sometime soon. I got to see that. Yeah, Shane, we know. A lot of people ain't. They're open to it, but they don't have the interest in studying it. And it's not easy. Rob, message her on Facebook and give her your address. Jesse's a good kid. He really is. And he got the biggest heart. I really love Jesse. He is such a good kid. Well, he's 21. And he had medical issues and that. And I'm glad they got some of it straightened out that he was able to attend. I passed him twice as I was being pulled every which way. And that's not going to happen next year. I'm going to have a couple assistants. Oh, 22. I'm sorry, Rob. My next big event for this area, March 30th next year. We got another event we're doing in Cambria County, July 29th. And if I didn't have Julie McQuaid as my right hand and my legs for up in that area, a lot of it wouldn't get done. She's a godsend. And I'm so thankful she's helping. You know, that's 2.5, 3 hours away from me. So, that's my next big event. So, for locally next year. And I've been working on it already. I got a few speakers already lined up. No, I'm not having the same speakers because that gets old real quick. Even though they might change things up, but it gets old on them too to come up with new stuff. Brian will tell you that. Jamie will tell you that. And what they came up with this year, both of them, was awesome. They and I didn't get to hear it all. I did get to hear Brian's dad joke though. Bad dad joke. No bacon about it. But I won't say much more on that. And Shane, yes, you're so busy with your Bigfoot and getting into Dogman investigating now. You got a full plate going on your end. You're trying to act like me. Yes, my plate's full. and it's pretty damn full. But it keeps me out of trouble. Weather's changing. I'm going to be able to get out in the woods a little more. And when the weather's real bad, I can't get out there. The bad cold, when it got real cold, I can't breathe in it. Too many years of smoking. I'm glad I quit 3 years ago. But that was like 20 years too late. Because that cold air just wipes it out. I can't breathe. So, weather getting better. We'll get out more. My wife's getting around better. Not great, but better. And the weather gets nicer. We'll get out and go walk some trails. You know, she'd never walk past anyhow, but the walking will help her. And we're going to do that. And this way I can still do my investigating. Yeah, thanks, Shane. Yeah, not happening. I like to see you guys chase those snipes around. Oh, jeez. I give up. Oh, man. Thanks, Shane. I needed that. Yeah, Ham. I love that joke. Oh, shoot. The bad part about it, I don't remember exactly how it went. And I went to tell my wife about it. So you're going to have to message it to me so I can tell her. I couldn't believe you did that to me. I was clean up front. So they said, "You're a wanted man, Bill." I said, "Yeah, it seems that way." "No, Brian's calling for you." I went, "Oh my God, he's up on stage. What's wrong?" And I go flying back up. It was for his dad joke. Oh, geez, I can't win. Oh, buddy. All right, so it's in a yellow can, sporting goods, along the bug spray. It's permethazide. The big yellow can, it's $10. Don't spray it on your skin. Spray it on your clothes and feet. Yeah, don't mess with the pig people. No bacon about it. I use it. I got a large can, and I share it with everyone when we go out. The best stuff on the market. Get yourself a can to go hiking. I suggest everyone get it. The ticks have been getting worse and worse every year. And no one needs Lyme disease. By the way, Susan, how are you feeling? You better? I know you got out Saturday. You wasn't totally up to par, but you got out there, and I'm glad I got to see you. I hope you're feeling better. That's one of the few people I got to talk to. Oh, funny. Yeah, I really thought, oh, yeah, I can sit down and watch my speakers. The joke was on me. And no bacon about it. But anyhow, what we need to know. Okay. Oh, keep an eye on that, Susan. That's when I called my doctor, but it was getting infected. You're right, Angel. Not a harsh enough winter didn't kill much of the bugs off. We did have a couple of real cold snaps, but it didn't stay cold long enough to kill them off. So get permicicide and get it at Walmart and Sporting Goods Department. Spray your clothes. It's good for 3 days. Wash your clothes, spray it again. Good for 3 days. Boom. It was very, very good. And I don't know if anybody recorded that. I'm not sure if anyone recorded it. The person that was supposed to come and do some recording for me, his vehicle broke down. Because I was going to have him get Ryan's and Jamie and Jenny's. Ryan and Terry's, Jamie and Jenny's. Those were two I really wanted to see. Everybody's still talking about both of theirs. And about Dan. Even Ed's. Even Jimmy Krug. He really caught the people's attention with his presentation. It's been interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Dan, Ed, even Mike Fallon. Mike put a good one on. Mike Fallon. Mike Hartman did a great job emceeing. The poor guy was dog tired too. Worked all night and drove here to my house. And we drove straight up there to the event. Came back to my house after the event. We went down and ate. He shot from eating to home to go back out on the truck. Rob, possibility. Possibility. I got Legend and Lore, Tony LeBarn. He's going to be speaking. I got Christine Soul speaking. I got Robert Solomon speaking. I got someone else I can't remember. And I don't have the paper in front of me. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be good. Tony even wrote that one book, which is up here. The Haunted Roads of Pennsylvania, which Hogback's in it for MercerCon. No. It's going to be a ham sandwich. Oh, Denny Bigelow. Good evening, my man. And Susan. I'd like to hear more about the lights that are sometimes seen along Route 58 Mercer Road. Brian, what about those? That's the man to ask. That is the man to ask right there. Brian, you know who Susan is. She's the one that got that page we all always posted on. If you know anything about it, go ahead and message her. You don't know about them yet. Jamie, we need help here to you. Your YouTube died. It says I'm still on it. So it was just you. I heard something about that. And maybe it could have been Sparky that told me about it. I'm going to check on that, Susan. Um, that's what I just said, Brian. You're right there with me. Uh, yeah. For some reason, I was thinking you told me, Brian. Um, yeah, I'll have to get a hold of Sparky and find out. Um, I heard other stories about it, but someone told me more in depth, and it got to be. And I got to get it all together. I'm not just going to spit it out. They're not talking. They're just posting, Denny. Say, it's on the question. Oh, Shane, you're. Oh, yeah. We're going to have to talk here soon about that. Denny, let me tell you something. I talked to a lady today. I'm not going back in the whole story, but her son saw a Bigfoot up at Kinzu. Um, um, she didn't say exactly where up at Kinzu, but I looked at it. I says, I got a friend that lives up there, and there's all kind of weird stuff happening up there, and I plan on 4 times getting up there this year, but it looks like it might only be 3. But I'm coming up, and it's going to be soon, Denny. It's going to be soon. I'm coming up, brother. That's going. Now that's man. He has his own little page called Strange Kinzu. I've seen a bunch of the pictures he has taken, and there's some strange stuff up there. Very interesting. Very interesting area. I might have to bring Jamie King with me. Because that we'll bring Jamie and Jenny up there with us. They'll be the ones that really, well, Jenny will find the stuff for us. But yeah, yes, it is Angel. Kinzu is for Native American spirits. Josh, 15 feet. What was you, about 25 feet from the one you saw? I was 15 feet. It was right there off the trail. And I know you were worked up over it. But I didn't get her phone number, but I gave her my business card. So if she gets a hold of me, I will have her call you, Denny. I told her about you. She's an older lady, sweet lady. And I had a nice little story at the beginning of the podcast, and she touched my heart. And Brian says this about Kenzu. With some of the weird stuff happening there, Angel, what's those numbers for? You giving someone your phone number? Oh, I don't know. But anyhow, one thing I want to know about Kenzu too. No, I'm not saying it. Oh, Josh, yes. You okay with that, Josh? Hey, Josh, hang on. I'm sending you a link. I want you to come in. Hang on. I'm sending you the link now, Josh. Yes, you can, Denny. Josh, get your butt in here. I sent you the link in Messenger. That's not a request, that's an order. That's right, I'm bossing the kid around. There he comes. There you are, buddy.
So you were about 15 feet away from yours.
How you doing with this?
I'm okay. Better than I expected.
Okay. Now, describe them.
Okay. I had first sat down. I was heading up the ridge, but I sat down to get a water bottle to get something to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And Shane had said on his post, we split up because he did a couple tree knocks and we got a scream, and he went to check the creek and I went up the ridge. I sat down, got a drink of water, and all of a sudden I had a stick fall on my bag. Well, I didn't think anything of it at first, but then I thought for a second, I'm like, that came out an arc. So I got up, put my water back in my bag, and I headed up the ridge. Well, dummy me was looking straight at the ground the whole time up, looking for tracks. And I get to where there's just this little ridge top, and I look up.
Right. How soft was the ground going up?
When you first started up, it was pretty soft, but at the top, it wasn't soft at all.
So where the stick hit you, how soft was it? Soft.
I'd say if I had to stomp, it'd leave maybe that big of an impression, but you wouldn't see it real well.
Okay. Yeah.
But when I headed up, I hit that ridge, and I happened to look up, and there he was, and I froze.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I would have said he was every bit of 8.5 to 9 foot, and his muscle is what got me. He looked like a bodybuilder cross between a strongman. You know the build I'm talking about?
Very much so. You
Yeah.
know I do.
Yeah. And I froze, and his face, you know how when you cringe to show your teeth, like an
Yeah.
aggression? His nostrils flared, and he showed his teeth, which he had more of the human-like face, but his fangs were a little bit longer. And he had brown eyes, and he had black fur, and he was real light brownish tan skin.
Okay. Angel said, could you smell him?
I did not.
Yeah, same here with mine. Yeah. So he wasn't trying to chase you away per se, because when they do that, I think it's a warning for you to get the hell away, like a skunk warning.
Yeah.
Now, how much of the facial feature did you get?
I could see every bit.
Let me see. Similar to this?
The hair was a little higher up on the forehead. But he leaned over, like, you know how a football player gets ready to lean over to look like they're going to tackle you?
Yes.
He did that, and he literally closed his hand, and you could hear the bones cracking in his hand.
Oh.
And I sat there, and I'm like, no one's going to believe I seen this thing. So I literally was shaking, but I reached in my pocket to grab out. I had a little Kodak camera.
Right.
And I was going to try to snap a photo of him, and I dropped it because he leaned over even more. And I was explaining this to Elizabeth earlier today. I actually reached for my gun because he leaned over more, like he was. And I'm going to say this, and I don't know if I said it to him. I don't know if I did or I didn't. And I believe I did. I told him, I said, please don't charge me. I don't want to have to shoot you, because I just got that feeling he was going to charge, if anything, one misstep, anything at all. And a second later, he turned, and it was so quietly, he walked off and went up the ridge.
All right.
And I mean,
1 second.
Go ahead.
1 second. The fear in you shut your hearing down. That's why you didn't hear him walking off. I swear to God, that's what happened with me too. Brian Seach said, did the creature put his arms up to its head at all?
No.
Brian, why that question? I'd like to know reasoning behind that question. Is that like a signal or what? I know with Ernie DeVoe, the hand signal stuff, it did. With the two he saw.
Excuse me, guys.
Yes? Who said, excuse me, guys? I had someone say, excuse me, guys, in my headphone. Was that you, Josh? Josh? He froze. Oh, boy. He froze. Angel would have. But let me do this, see if this helps him. Nope, he's gone. Oh, he's back. Maybe. Nope. He's going to have to try to reboot. Oh, really? Really? See, I think with mine, it was counting coup. Okay. The old Indian thing. That's a good possibility, Gary. Good possibility. So mine didn't try to get real big. He was already big enough, damn him. Hi, Becky. Glad you're watching. All right, Josh is back.
Sorry, I don't know what happened. My phone shut off.
That's all right. I heard, excuse me, guys, and it's like, I said, I'm hearing things in my headphones, and you're like sitting there like this. Josh, did you hear it? He froze.
I burped and I went to say excuse me because I didn't want to be rude to everybody, and then all of a sudden my phone just shut off. But yeah, I hope.
The reason Brian asked that, and I'll bring that back up, but
okay.
Cliff Blackman had an eyewitness talk about an orange pendak in Sumatra do the same thing. All right. Right here. In sighting from Beaver County, the creature showed its teeth and put its hands up to its head. Gary said this while you were gone. A lot of times Bigfoot will do that to look even bigger than they are. And Gary also said scare tactic, which I believe. Like you said, it was quiet walking away. But I think your ears kind of shut down the hearing from the fear factor. Okay. And the thing is, I didn't hear mine sneaking up to where it got to where it's at. I don't know if it was there for a while waiting on us. I don't know if it just got there before I saw it. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yours acted a little differently than mine. Was you with us when we went back down and measured up on that tree the next day?
No,
from my sighting. I know there was a group of us. And the thing is that mine was around 7 foot tall. And I know he's good, all of 4 foot wide, and the muscles.
Yeah.
So now, can you go back and measure any area there that you think how high up he was to get a more accurate height?
Yeah, there was a tree right by where he was standing. I had after I seen him and he had walked away, I turned around and hollered for Shane. Actually, I kind of screamed for Shane, and Shane got to me, and I took my hat off. And you know, I'm not a very tiny person. I'm 6'4", and with my boots on, you add a little height. I took my hat and went up above the tree and had my arm fully extended. He was taller than what I could reach with my hat off, sticking it in the air to give a size comparison. But that's not really saying much because nobody knows what kind of tree or what the ridge looked like or the terrain.
Yeah. Right. So you're but you're 6'4", so you figure 2.5 feet above your head.
Mm-hmm.
9 foot.
Yeah.
That's big.
Yeah, he was
That's
a big
big.
boy. I'll tell you this: his forearms. You know how you've seen me, and you see how big my legs are. He made my legs look danky with his forearms.
Good night, Angel. Sorry about the migraine. Yeah, and Shane said he came running.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, that old man running uphill. And I don't know if you read what Gary wrote. Gary wrote, Josh's Bigfoot walked away knowing he scared him. A pick would have been great, but of course, nervousness. Yep.
Yeah.
And Gary knows. He knows.
Oh, yeah.
So, Susan found it, that Pennsylvania, the lady in the lantern. Yeah, I'm glad to listen to that, Susan. Now, did you guys stick around longer, investigate a little more?
Yeah, we actually headed in the direction that I seen him walk off and headed up that way, and we came to a box canyon. I mean, it was really steep ledges that went down to a pond, and we looked around a little bit, and it was getting ready to rain and stuff, so we started heading the other direction to head out. We talked about maybe this Tuesday going back out to that spot. I don't know if Shane still wanted to do that, or if we were going to go out to another spot. But yeah, we were wanting to go back. I know I want to go back out there and see if there was something he was protecting or if something. The demeanor had me off a little bit. It almost reminded me of, you know, how a parent will protect kids or their wife and stuff. That's what it reminded me of after I've gotten home and I've gotten able to sit down and actually think about what happened. But that's just my thinking.
You were shaking like a leaf when he got to you. He says he would have been too. Oh, hell yeah, I was shaking too. And this man ain't afraid of nothing. And it had me scared shitless, and I ain't lying. So, you know.
Well, Bill seen me after I seen that dog man down there at Hozek's cave.
Yeah.
And that, I was more shaken than that because we walked up and he's like, why don't we sit down and you calm down? And I still had my gun out in my hand when we sat down. And I told Shane, I said, you probably didn't notice I still had this out. And that's when I holstered it because I still was afraid that he was coming back to turn around and charge at me.
Oh, wow. Here, let me share this real quick. All right. Susan, look at that. Gary knows where the lady in the lantern is. He's not but 2 miles from it. And he got to witness her one time. That was enough. We will talk about that, Gary. I want more info. But yeah, with yours, Josh, I know the fear that you went through. Oh, yeah. Tim. When that 12-footer came in on him at Salt Fork. And Shane says, tell us about the whistle.
Oh, we were heading our way out of there, and we had sat down to take a rest, and we were looking across to this other ridge site, and I told Shane, I said, there's something standing over there. And I said, I'm not sure if it's a tree. Can you see it? And he looked, and he said, I can see it. I said, is that the wind? And we couldn't tell. Well, Shane did some whistles and he got an exact mimic whistle right back. And so we paused a few minutes and waited to see if we heard another. And then Shane did another to make sure it wasn't an echo that we heard.
Right.
And it wasn't an echo at all.
Well, Shane, I just sent you a request to join in on this conversation. I think it'd be better we talk if you're able to.
Yeah. And I understand what you mean by the PTSD after it. I'm still shaken from that experience.
It's going to bother you for a while. It still gets me at times. The more you talk about it, the better it is, Josh. And that's no lie. Shane, check your messages. I sent through Messenger. If you're able to come on, I appreciate it. What the hell are you doing naked at 8:30 at night? You sicko. What a perverted old man. Oh, I see what Hartman says about him. Oh. Oh my God. You know, the thing is, your sighting and that, no one can ever take that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And don't ever be afraid to talk about it, even in front of trolls. You can shut a troll down real quick. And I did this afternoon at a restaurant. I went up to see a buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
They always meet for coffee at 2 o'clock. I got there at 3. And the one guy was still there. And he started. He should have got a picture. And I says, you're full of shit. I said, I'm not going to pull no punches with you, Clem. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's fear factor.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about it. It's 15 feet away from me. Something that we're not supposed to have in this area, but it's here.
Yeah.
They say it's a myth. It's not a myth. It's real. So back up and shut up. I did.
I had someone earlier today. I went to go get my wife, she's pregnant. She was craving a sub, and someone seen I had a Bigfoot shirt on, said, have you ever seen one? And I said, I just seen one the other day. And some guy's like, well, pull out your camera next time and take a picture. I said, I did pull out my camera. You be right there when one looks like it's going to charge you and showing its teeth. And I'll tell you this, you're going to shake so much you ain't going to be able to hold that camera.
That's true.
Because I'll admit
it's Mr. Naked.
Hey, there I am.
Hey, buddy.
I got dressed quick.
No,
The wife was sure glad. The dog came out from underneath the blankets, so we're safe.
I thought you were going out.
I tell you what, at 8 o'clock, I'm in the bed naked. I'm getting old.
Oh my God. I'm older than you, Shane. Don't even start.
Okay.
But yeah, the thing is, with his sighting, tell me what you saw in Josh after the sighting.
Yeah, when I come up to him, I heard Shane. So I ran up. Well, I didn't run, did a good pace up the hill, and I could tell where he was visibly shaking. I mean, just nervous. And I said, what went on, Josh? And he said, well, I just had an encounter. So he started telling me what it did, the actions of it, how it had walked off. And I said, well, let's sit down for 5 or 10 minutes and you can gather yourself. So we sat there on the log and talked, and I could tell he was talking nervous, and he definitely saw something up close So
Yes.
I said, Josh, which way did it go? Maybe we can, if he said no, I don't want to go, we would have turned around, went back home. But he was comfortable with going, and so we went on.
Backup.
Yeah. And we sort of come to the conclusion that either the thing wanted us out of there, as it was feeding, because we're in a pretty remote place for Ohio. There ain't a whole lot of remote places where you can get a mile or more back in from the population. But this area is pretty remote for Ohio.
Is that 8 Cannon area?
Yeah. It was a new area that I had been wanting to get into for a while. There's just so many canyons and just old mining areas that you never know when you're going to come up to a spot where you're going to have to walk a mile around to get to the other side, or too steep some of the cliff walls. So swampland, bogs, ponds, you just don't know what's going to block your way, because everything ain't on Google Maps. I mean,
no, they ain't.
There was a pond not on there that when we got up there that wasn't on the map when we were standing right there looking at it.
Yeah, and that was probably a couple acre pond. So
wow.
So the Google Maps are good for a reference, I guess. But
yeah, exactly. Plus the amount of rain we had, that pond might have just formed. Yeah, right. Couple acres, but anyhow. Now, did you find any tracks once you got up the top above the box?
The ground really wasn't conducive, as we hadn't had. We had some rain maybe 4 or 5 days ago, Josh, but that hill was so steep, the runoff, everything ran off, and all the leaves were on the ground. So it just, at the bottom of the hill, there was a really good place for tracks, especially along the creek.
Right.
That's the area that we sort of split up at, and Josh wanted to go towards where we heard the scream, and I wanted to take the creek. So that plan worked out real good. Divide and conquer. I don't know who got conquered though, Bigfoot or Josh.
His underpants got conquered.
Yeah, I think so. But the tone of his voice when he screamed Shane, I knew that
knew something was wrong.
Something happened. So,
I'd be thinking, oh Christ, he twisted his ankle. I got to carry his big ass out of here.
I'd have Mike tow him out there. I said, Mike, grab about a mile of rope. We're going to drag Josh out of here. Get him out of here.
Oh, jeez. And I could tell about his the way he posted it last night. Then I read your post on it, and I told him I'll call him today. About the time I was planning on calling him, I talked to the lady. I had my other hoodie on that had the UFO beaming down on a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
And this lady told me, I believe in it, both of them. And so we'd start talking to him. Her son had an encounter at Kinzu. Her brother out in Arizona had encounters. And then she told me about her son's death and the angels. It took up a couple hours there.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't get a chance to call Josh on this like I wanted to. And that's why I'm glad he came on. Was chatting, and then I brought him on.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Josh, if it ever gets too hard on you, you get a hold of Shane, get a hold of me, get a hold of Mike Hartman. Just talk about it. It helps.
I definitely will.
Yeah, Mike's a big softy. He comes on like he ain't, but he's a big softy.
He'll do anything in the world for people.
Yeah,
He's a good dude, but don't tell him I said that.
Right amount of money. I won't tell him anything.
Hey, tomorrow's Mike Hartman Day. Did you know that?
Yeah. We'll all have to text him happy birthday. Yeah.
No, not birthday. Happy Mike Hartman Day.
Oh, Mike Hartman Day. Okay.
Yeah. April 1st.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You know what April 1st is? Ah! That's
We'll make it official national holiday.
Yeah, it was strange when Shane and I were out that day because Shane had we were at them rocks and you looked up and said you seen something standing up there, and then you looked at me and I just kind of looked up and I didn't see. You said what you seen was gone, and we kind of discontinued it as a stump or something. We walked a little further and I thought I seen something, but it looked like it peeked out of the tree, but the wind was blowing, so I kind of discounted it as the wind blowing and didn't think anything of it. And we kept going, and then we heard some howls, which they were not coyote howls.
No.
And then we got up a little further towards that creek, and you did them 3 tree knocks, and I mean, right up the direction I went up the ridge where I seen him, we heard a big scream. And
yeah,
that's what led me to go up that way. And Shane said he wanted to go by the creek, so I wanted to go where that scream was, and I headed up the ridge.
Well, you kind of did right, but you kind of did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Divide and conquer is one thing. You guys should have went together for protection.
Yeah.
You heard the scream up there. You're headed that way. I understand you wanted to stay on the bottom, Shane. Either make him stay with you or go with him. Yeah. That means it is right up there. So that I'm not saying it was totally wrong. You guys did good. Nobody got hurt. And I'm glad you had your encounter. I really am.
Yeah, I'm glad for Josh too that he actually.
Yeah, I really am. But I'm glad you guys are safe too, because thing got just a little aggressive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, mine didn't get that way at all, and I'm glad. Joe Keski told me about his encounter shortly after I was able to talk about mine, and I was at it with a bunch of people, and Joe told me about his experience where it come charging across the pond at him.
Oh wow!
Wow!
It took him 10 years to really start talking about it. And as he was explaining it all, we're all around this big campfire. And I put my head down and I'm listening to him, and I start crying, thinking, what could have happened to me if mine was aggressive?
Oh, yeah.
I'm 15 feet away. You're 17, 18 feet away, Josh.
Yeah.
I don't care how fast you are. You're not getting away from them.
No, it's a wild
You're not
animal.
going to get that out quick enough. Those things are too damn quick. Okay? We're just fortunate. We both are. Seriously. The danger that we put ourselves in doing this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And Shane, you're on that new quest of Dogman.
The Dogman quest, yeah.
And everything I heard about Dogman is not a safe situation.
I've actually been out with Shane Dogman researching with him, and Bill can tell you I had a sighting. He was there that night when I came to camp. He can explain how I was that night.
Very shook up. And the thing is that everything I heard about Dogman, Shane, I don't want to go out and research it. Now, if there was a sighting, I need to go investigate. But you're going full scale researching.
Yeah, and a lot of the times I'm going out by myself, but that's something that I did in the woods all my life. I've just been out, and here to recently, last couple of years, I've had people to go with. So,
yeah. Hey, Nikki, Hairy Man, Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. Glad you're out there, honey. we're talking to Josh and Shane. Josh just had a sighting when him and Shane was out. Yesterday or day before?
Day before.
Day before.
Yeah.
17 to 18 feet away.
All I can say is I'm glad I was able to make it home to my wife, who is pregnant, and my 2-year-old son. That's the biggest thing I've been able to say so far.
Hey, is your life insurance paid up?
You know, I don't know.
We go again, Josh. I'll get you a policy, buddy.
I'm pretty sure I got one. I'm just not sure if it's paid up.
Hey, do they have policies like they do at airports for Bigfooting? Nikki, do that? I've known Josh for a couple years, Nikki, and I believe the kid. I call him a kid because he is young. The thing is that now Shane, he's been researching Bigfoot, but now he's into the dog man. I'm not researching it. I would definitely go out on an investigation. They had a sighting, but to go full-fledged researching, Shane, you have bigger balls than me. Straight up.
I've told Shane multiple times, if you get a feeling they're around, you better have your gun drawn, because you will not get it drawn quick enough to be able to defend yourself. Them things are fast, and when they look at you, you freeze. If you think you freeze for a Bigfoot, a dogman, you don't even get time to blink, and they won't stall. They hunt.
Here's a question then for both Ians.
Yeah.
Who to win the battle, Dogman or Bigfoot?
Well,
I can't answer that.
Who do you? I know it's just a hypothetical.
Oh, okay.
Well, seeing the Bigfoot I just seen and have seen a Dogman, I would say the Bigfoot would win if you had one as muscular as the one I seen. But I mean, if you got a juvenile, I'd say that Dogman might win.
Okay. All right. And Nikki asked you, Shane. Here's what Nikki's asking. What makes you believe Dogman exists? Do you have an encounter or a sighting?
Well, I went to Hocking Hills and heard, I can't think of her name, Gwenna. Anyway, he was one of the speakers at Hocking Hills last year. Her witness account that she had was so convincing. And prior to that, I've been watching like Terror in the Woods, these documentaries on it. And I was on the fence, and I'm still on the fence, but I'm like the cow that's reaching through the fence and getting the grass on the other side. So and I know if I can find tracks, I'm not talking dog-sized tracks, but I mean big enough tracks that could, would be a 400 or 500 pound animal, then I can say, hey, there's a living being could be a dogman that's actually leaving physical evidence, tracks. Then, I can sort of get off the fence more and believe it. It's something I'm not totally 100% on board with. Bigfoot's easy. I've seen enough of them and enough tracks coming across those, and so that's no problem with me believing them. But the Dogman, until you see one, it's just. But I'm leaning more towards there being one with, like I said, the evidence that's been presented, and it's just, it's just something that piqued my interest. So.
Yes, very much so. And there's, you guys know I'm into everything, and Bigfoot's always been my number one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that I'm a knower, it really, put me farther deeper in the paranormal cryptid rabbit hole. And I'm just lucky enough to be retired, so I do this research more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And I come across so many great people that help me learn more. And I've said this at the beginning of this podcast. And the circle of friends I got has helped me so much with this.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very impressed. Now, Nikki has her podcast, and she got her files of shame, her notebooks of shame. All right, here you go. Question for Nikki for you, Josh. How tall was your Bigfoot, and can you estimate its weight? He already gave us the size, but do it again.
Well, I stand 6'4", and I raised my arm completely above my head, and I had my hat up, and I showed Shane about the height. I would have said about 9 foot, 8.5, 9 foot. And weight wise, with me doing lifting and everything, knowing that muscle weighs more, I'd have put him at the 800 to 900 pounds, maybe more. I mean, he was really, really muscular. When he walked away, you seen the calf muscles. I mean, he was just so muscular. I couldn't believe it was like real muscle the way it was looking and the way he was. It was just huge.
Yes. I keep telling her the one I saw at 15 feet, Arnold Schwarzenegger had been impressed with the muscles. And that I ain't joking.
No. I would have said, Bill, you say Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd have said, if anybody knows bodybuilders, I'd have said around Ronnie Coleman and Dorian Yates would have had them two together would not even hold a candle to what this looked like.
Here's what Nikki said. Dang, big boy. The Bigfoot too. Laugh out loud. Josh is tall. Josh is tall. And he snores loud too.
Hey, we could hear you too, buddy.
I didn't. That wasn't me. That was you.
Hey, I was up and awake and hearing you and Mike Hartman. I could hear both of you guys.
Hey, honey, put earplugs on the list. This camping trip this summer, put earplugs on the list for me. Okay.
But yeah, I got up that one morning. I'm like, what the heck? I'm gonna go kick his damn tent. I'm not awake enough for this. I didn't have my coffee yet. What the hell is that growling noise? But yeah, like I said, the way I fared, you're 6'4", you had 2.5 feet in your hat, so. Yeah, about 9 foot.
That's more what I guesstimated about.
Excuse me. You'd have to take the terrain into account because it was on that hillside.
Right.
So you'd have to remember, Josh, if it was on the downside or the upside or the tree.
Where he was standing was more flatter than where it was at the tree. I used the tree more as a guesstimate or more of it. Hold on one sec, guys. Yeah, I am. I'm on live. Sorry, guys.
Who did she want to talk to?
The wife hollered for me. Was to ask me if I was on the phone.
Well, get off the phone. No. The boss spoke. The boss spoke. You're in trouble. Uh-oh. Oh,
I'm good.
I'm going to tell Mike I saw her.
Yeah, I told Mike I was going to send my wife over to his boss's house, her hands on hip, he had some explaining to do about working Mike to death. So
Yeah.
I guess Mike had a heartfelt talk with his boss today, and they got things worked out. So I was happy to hear that.
That's
So they've
good.
been working him like a dog. I mean,
That's not going to happen. That workout deal ain't going to happen.
yeah,
They've worked out deals several times now, and it hasn't happened.
Happened for a week or so, then right back to his same schedule, probably.
Yep.
But
so
he's getting fed up with it.
I've been fed up with it for a while. He don't deserve to be worked like a dog. All right. Well, it's 8:45. I started this at 7. We got 15 minutes to figure something else out. So
one thing impressed me was the whistle. When we come out of that box canyon and we went up on that ridge and sat down, and we thought we seen something peeking behind the tree. I thought I seen like an upper body humanoid figure from the waist up, but the wind was swaying the trees, and I didn't know if it was pareidolia or what it was, but it kept going in and out. Then the wind would stop, and you'd still see it. Then the wind would blow a little, and it was like it was almost moving behind the tree, peeking around. But I can't discount it wasn't the wind blowing the tree, just making the shadows look that way. But I did a whistle. I don't see if I can do it now. Of course, I can't do it now. Well, anyway, I did a whistle, and it mimicked it was about 2 seconds, Josh.
Yeah, it was about 2 seconds.
Later, it mimicked the same, and this whistle wasn't a bird because it sounded like whatever did it had big lungs because it was a loud whistle like a human.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a whistle. It was something that had some lungs to it, but it was mimicked me to a T. I mean, I was.
Well, that's great. That's great. That helps.
Yeah, and that would have been on. Yeah, and that would have been on the opposite ridge, Josh, where we're crossing that Ape Canyon where we were sitting. I mean that Box Canyon, but yeah, that was my neat experience. I didn't get the sighting that Josh did that day, but yeah, that whistle
would have got me. That whistle would have got me too.
Yeah,
definitely.
Definitely wasn't a bird because it's loud. You could just tell it had some lungs to it. So yeah, that made my day. And Josh having his encounter made my day too. I think I gave you a high five, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you a high five. You better.
Oh, you was able to get up that high.
I bent down a little bit for him.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
Did you see where Ghost Chick was calling Mike a dwarf?
Yeah.
I don't know. Mike Harper was a dwarf.
Yeah, he's trouble reaching the ground on his motorcycle, folded up. But
yeah, he needs those shoes that like they had back in the 70s, that big with the big heels and stuff for the guys.
Yeah, like the Kiss group had.
Yeah, with the elephant ear jeans, man, we're hobbling down the hall. We take the caps off the heels in the front part, and you're clomp, 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 clomp.
Yeah, that'd be all right. Yeah, a lot of what Josh is describing is what me and the wife seen. What was it, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
3 or 4. We've been down here 3 years, 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah, we had a road crossing on the Knox County and Coshocton line. It's 6:30. It was it November? I should have wrote all this down, but it was around November.
Yeah, it was.
Deer was out everywhere. It was 6:30 at night. And I had the brights on. I was doing 45 mile an hour, going down 541, and no traffic. I said there's deer everywhere, so we wasn't doing the legal 55. We slowed down because the deer was everywhere. And this thing just went across. Another second, we would have hit it. I mean, it was, I don't know how tall, but I'm guessing 8 or 9 feet. And like Josh said, if you put a bodybuilder beside it, there's no comparison. I mean, it's just,
Right.
it was like a midget, just the frame, the arms, the legs. We actually got to see the butt muscles as it crossed the path in front of us, went from woods to woods. You know how your headlights will catch a little bit of the right and left. And she's like, "Did you see that?" Remember? She was saying, "Did you see that?"
Did you see that?
But
yeah, that'd been interesting.
That was
if I had to guess the weight, I twice as big as a gorilla at a zoo and half again as tall. I mean, they're just massive. It's just
yes.
I mean,
well, my 7 foot was massive. 4 foot wide, but massive.
Yeah, and thick. I mean, just the thick that.
Yeah,
we seen the side, sort of the sideway view running, and I mean, if it had hit the car, it had totaled the car. But I was thinking, why in the world would it wait to cross the road? Why wouldn't it wait another second or two till we had to pass by? But I remember what Bobo said on Finding Bigfoot. He said all Bigfoots ain't rocket scientists. So
sure,
that made sense. If they're an animal, why he didn't wait, and I don't know. But
he probably thought you wasn't going as fast as you were.
Yeah,
Bill,
that could have been.
But with that, that one I saw when it turned and started walking down over the hill, it didn't take it long to get down over that hill. It really didn't. And it wasn't speed walking or running, but the stride on it, it took it down off over that hill big time. And to me, it was walking a normal pace. I was running backwards, though. So walking at a normal pace, he probably figured, oh yeah, here I go, 4 foot strides. I can get through there. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, they're gone.
Great.
Yeah.
3 steps as you clean across the road in the woods. So
that was like last year when I called you, Bill. Remember when I about hit that one right there, by Honey Run? You could hear it going crashing through the trees, and it turned around and it roared at me. It rattled my car, the windows, everything. Because I called Bill that night, Shane.
He calls me all the time when something happens.
Yeah. He's normally my buddy to talk to about it.
Yeah.
So that makes it interesting. Who the heck keeps me?
Another thing where we had our road crossing, me and the wife here, I got talking to either Doug Walker or David Wickham, and they said, Shane, there was another roading right by there's a lodge right up the road, Elk Lodge or something, like a mile down the road. There was a sighting a couple years back. Well, we got to looking out on the map. It was just right down the road, probably a half a mile or less from where others have had a road right 541. So,
well, all right, reference. That's a reference. So they're crossing in that area.
Yeah,
that's good to know.
Yeah, real good to know.
Shane, is that lodge where they just put the lodge in and it's got the grapevines for the winery on 541?
No, it's if you're going. I don't think so, Josh. It's if you'd be heading west towards Bladensburg.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right off that road.
On the left, there's it's a lodge. I think we just was by it the other day. It's called the Lodge or something. Is that this place?
Yeah, they have the lodge there, and then back that road they have a winery there too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that.
And they have they have grapes and everything. My buddy lives right off that comes out.
That answers the question earlier. Why would it cross the road in front of them? It's a wino.
Oh. Yeah, he got high on grapes.
It's a wino, man. It's a wino.
Yeah. A drunk Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that one.
I do come up with some good ones once in a while. But anyhow, guys, we're going to have to cut out of here.
Alrighty.
I'm going to go get some throat spray or something. I'm starting to get a sore throat again. And I don't want to be getting sick. I almost got sick before the conference, and that was scary. And Maya wants the phone.
No, Maya's standing right here.
I send my love.
Bill said he sends his love. She says hi.
Hi, Maya.
Shane says hi.
But and tell your wife we said hi and thanks for the input. And keep you straight.
I definitely will.
But anyhow, Shane, we'll be talking sometime this week coming. I'll be getting a hold of you.
Okay.
So we
good,
make
bro.
some plans. Plans.
Okay.
But guys, thank you for jumping in and talking about this.
Hey, no problem.
I'm glad you were able to, both ends, and that sharing that it even helps me. It really does. All joking aside, that's what we're all supposed to do is help each other, share each other's experiences. And
yeah, exactly.
And like I said, I'm sorry, Josh, but that lady tied me up today, or I would have.
Oh, you're completely fine, but I totally understand.
And she put tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, you can catch, if you didn't catch the first part of the podcast, catch it on my YouTube channel and listen to the first part. You'll understand why. I'm not going totally into it now because I'll start crying. This lady, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. And I thanked her for sharing it. And I asked her if I could share it on my podcast. And she's told me to go ahead. So, but with that said, guys, we're going to get on out of here. Bring up my outro. And thank you again for jumping in, sharing that.
Thank you for letting us.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you this weekend, Josh.
Alrighty.
I got my Blazer that I just got. I was driving it earlier today and a brake line broke. So I got to go get it
I
fixed
just got a
tomorrow.
new vehicle myself.
Well, it ain't new. It's a 2001. And I knew I got to do a little bit of work to it, body-wise. Mechanically, it seemed fine, but even the brakes seemed good till that brake line broke. So
Yeah,
I'm going to...
I got a 2004 Ford Escape. So I just got it out of my buddy's shop who went over everything to make sure it was completely mechanically sound so the kids are safe in it.
Right.
And that'll be the one that's coming to camp.
Mine can't get into my buddy's shop till beginning of next week. But so it looks like I'm going to be laying on the wet ground changing a brake line tomorrow. But he's going to go over everything too. And because it's coming from Ohio going to PA and I want to be able to get it inspected.
Yeah.
So I can do my Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah.
But anyhow, thank you guys again. When I hit the intro, you guys go ahead and go. I ain't going to hang around myself either.
All right.
So, and I will talk to you guys this week.
All right.
Thank you, everyone, for listening and hanging in there with us. And sorry I kept you busy for an hour with my garbage. I loved it. Talk to you guys later.
Talk to you later.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe and view on YouTube. And please visit our store link in the bio. Thank you for listening. And remember that paranormal is